Ever wondered what it takes to turn acres of ripe tomatoes into the perfect bottle of ketchup? It's a journey from the field to the factory, with each step designed for that smooth, tangy taste we all love. But behind the scenes, the process is fast, precise, and truly fascinating. Stay tuned as we take you inside the food factory to witness the transformation of fresh tomatoes into one of the world's most beloved condiments. Ketchup, as we know it today, is a staple in many homes around the world. But did you know that the history of ketchup stretches far beyond the tomato? The origin of ketchup dates back to the 17th century, when it wasn't made from tomatoes at all. It was originally a fermented fish sauce from Southeast Asia, known as kecap, pronounced ketchup, which was used as a seasoning. The version we're familiar with today began to take shape in the 19th century in the United States. Tomatoes became the main ingredient for ketchup, which led to the first tomato-based ketchup recipes. In the early 1800s, ketchup was made by home cooks, but it wasn't until the late 19th century when the famous Heinz company began mass-producing ketchup that it became a household name. Heinz, which introduced its ketchup in 1876, was a pioneer in creating a product that was consistent, shelf-stable, and could be enjoyed by everyone. By the early 1900s, ketchup became an iconic American condiment, and its popularity spread worldwide. Today, it's used on burgers, fries, and so many other dishes, becoming one of the most recognizable and loved sauces globally. This would dive deeper into the steps involved in producing ketchup, including the different methods of scaling up production for large batches, the technology behind automated systems, and how the entire process is designed for consistency and high output. This section would tie into the existing content, but offer a more in-depth look at how efficiency and technology play a role in modern ketchup production. The tomato harvest begins long before it reaches the factory. Large fields stretch out, filled with rows upon rows of bright red tomatoes, ready to be picked. Farmers and machines work together to collect thousands of tons of tomatoes in a short time. First, the tomatoes are checked to make sure they are ripe. It's a delicate process. Too early, and they won't have the full flavor. Too late, and they could be overripe and mushy. The timing has to be just right. Once the tomatoes are ripe and ready, the harvest begins. For large-scale farms, machines are often used to pick the tomatoes. These machines can move quickly, shaking the plants and collecting the tomatoes in huge bins. The process is fast, with workers and machines working together to gather the tomatoes efficiently. After the tomatoes are harvested, they are placed in large containers, usually trucks, that are ready to transport them to the factory. The journey from the field to the factory is crucial, and time is of the essence to ensure that the tomatoes stay fresh. The harvest is a well-coordinated effort, where every tomato has to be handled carefully. This is just the first step in turning those plump tomatoes into the delicious ketchup we all know and love. Once the tomatoes are harvested and packed into large containers, they are ready for the next step in their journey: transportation to the factory. This part of the process is just as important as the harvesting itself. The tomatoes need to be transported quickly to maintain their freshness. The tomatoes are loaded onto trucks, which are specially designed to carry large amounts of produce. These trucks travel from the fields to the processing plant, sometimes only a short distance away, but in many cases, it could be hours of travel time. During the transport, it's essential to keep the tomatoes cool and protected. The trucks are often equipped with systems that help maintain the right temperature and prevent the tomatoes from overheating or getting damaged during the journey. This is important because any slight damage to the tomatoes could affect the final quality of the ketchup. As the tomatoes travel, workers at the factory prepare for their arrival. The factory must be ready to process the fresh tomatoes as soon as they arrive, so timing is crucial. Once the trucks pull in, the tomatoes are quickly unloaded and brought into the processing area. In this section of the process, efficiency is key. Every minute counts, and the goal is to get the tomatoes from the farm to the factory as quickly as possible, all while preserving their freshness and quality. Now let's see what happens when these tomatoes finally reach the factory, ready for the next step in becoming the ketchup we all enjoy. When the tomatoes arrive at the factory, the first thing that happens is a thorough quality check. This step ensures that only the best tomatoes make it into the final ketchup product. Tomatoes are carefully sorted to remove any that are bruised, overripe, or damaged in any way. Each batch is inspected by workers who look for imperfections, such as cracked skin, mold, or any signs of rot. The best tomatoes are selected for processing, while the others are set aside or discarded. The sorting process is quick but precise, as the quality of the tomatoes directly affects the flavor and texture of the ketchup. The tomatoes are also checked for size and color. Uniformity in these factors ensures that the ketchup will have the right consistency and appearance when it's finished. Any tomatoes that don't meet the factory's strict quality standards are removed from the batch, ensuring consistency in the final product. Once sorted, the tomatoes are ready to move on to the next stage of the process, where they will be prepared for washing and cooking. After being sorted for quality, the tomatoes are ready for a thorough wash. They are moved to large washing machines where they are rinsed under high-pressure water to remove any dirt, pesticides, or other impurities that may still be on their skins. The washing process is crucial because any leftover chemicals or dirt could affect the taste and safety of the ketchup. These machines are designed to gently clean the tomatoes without damaging them. The tomatoes are then inspected again to ensure they are fully clean before moving to the next stage. Once cleaned, the tomatoes are prepared for the cooking process. They are often cut into smaller pieces, making it easier to extract their juice and pulp. This step is essential because it helps break down the tomatoes and prepares them for the next steps in creating that perfect ketchup consistency. After the tomatoes are harvested, they undergo blanching, a process where they are briefly exposed to hot water or steam. This step softens the skin and makes it easier to peel, ensuring that no skins end up in the final ketchup product. Once blanched, the tomatoes are ground into a pulp. This process breaks down the tomatoes, allowing their juices to flow freely. The pulp forms the base for the ketchup, and its consistency will influence the final texture of the product. The grinding process also helps eliminate any remaining seeds and bits of skin that could affect the smoothness of the ketchup. This stage is important because it prepares the tomatoes for the next steps, where they will be concentrated, flavored, and refined into the ketchup that we know and love. The next step in the process is cooking the tomatoes. The tomato pieces are placed into large industrial cooking kettles, where they are heated to a high temperature. Cooking the tomatoes serves multiple purposes. It helps release the natural tomato juices, softens the flesh, and reduces the water content. As the tomatoes cook, they begin to break down and transform into a thick, concentrated paste. This concentrated paste is the foundation of the ketchup, giving it the rich, flavorful base we all recognize. During cooking, some of the liquid is evaporated, and the remaining pulp is thickened to a perfect consistency. The cooking process also intensifies the flavor of the tomatoes, making it more concentrated and richer. The result is a smooth, thick mixture that is ready for the next phase, spicing and flavoring. Once the tomato paste is ready, it's time to turn it into ketchup by adding spices and other ingredients. The factory's recipe for ketchup usually includes a combination of vinegar, sugar, salt, and special spices like garlic powder, onion powder, and other flavorings. The right balance of ingredients is key to making the ketchup taste perfect. The tomato paste is mixed with these ingredients in large vats, where it's blended carefully to ensure the flavor is consistent throughout. The vinegar gives the ketchup its tangy taste, while the sugar balances it out, giving that sweet and savory flavor we all love. Each factory may have its own secret recipe, but one thing is certain: the ingredients are added in precise amounts to create that signature ketchup flavor that people have enjoyed for generations. Once the spices and other ingredients are fully blended into the paste, the mixture is checked to ensure it has the right taste. If needed, more spices or sugar might be added to achieve the perfect flavor balance. After the tomato paste is flavored, the next step is refining the texture to make it smooth and consistent. The ketchup is moved through large strainers or filters that remove any remaining seeds, skins, or lumps. This process ensures the ketchup has a silky smooth texture, which is one of the key characteristics of good ketchup. The ketchup is then blended further to achieve a uniform consistency. This is crucial because no one wants a chunky or watery ketchup. The factory uses high-powered mixing machines to ensure that every drop of ketchup has the same smooth, thick texture. Once the ketchup is refined, it's checked for consistency. Workers ensure that the ketchup flows easily but isn't too runny, maintaining that perfect thickness that makes it great for dipping or spreading. Once the ketchup is fully prepared, it's time for one last round of quality testing. A team of testers samples the ketchup to make sure it meets the factory standards for flavor, texture, and color. The tasting process is carefully done, and the ketchup is checked to ensure that the flavor is perfectly balanced. Not too sweet, not too tangy. The color is also important. The ketchup should have a rich, deep red hue. In addition to flavor and color, the consistency is checked. The ketchup should have a thick, smooth texture that flows easily but is not too watery. If any issues are found, the recipe may be adjusted slightly before moving to the next step. This quality control process ensures that every bottle of ketchup tastes just as good as the last. Only after passing these rigorous tests is the ketchup deemed ready for bottling. Once the ketchup passes all quality tests, it's ready for bottling. The ketchup is pumped into sterilized bottles using automated filling machines. These machines are designed to fill each bottle with the exact right amount of ketchup to prevent any waste or underfilling. The bottles are then capped and sealed to ensure freshness. The bottling process is quick and efficient, designed to keep the ketchup as fresh as possible before it reaches the store shelves. After the bottles are sealed, they go through another round of inspection. Workers check for any flaws in the bottles, such as leaks or mislabels. The bottles are then labeled with the brand's logo, expiration date, and other important information. Once labeled, the bottles are packed into boxes and prepared for shipping. The bottling line is fast and precise, ensuring that each bottle is filled with the highest quality ketchup. After the ketchup is bottled and sealed, it's time to ship it out. The packed boxes are loaded onto trucks and sent to warehouses, where they'll be distributed to stores around the country. The shipping process is carefully managed to ensure that the ketchup stays fresh and reaches its destination in a timely manner. The ketchup is stored in temperature-controlled warehouses to prevent any spoilage before it hits the shelves. Once the ketchup reaches the stores, it's placed on shelves, ready to be purchased by customers. From the factory to the store, the ketchup is now ready to be enjoyed with your fries, burgers, and any dish that could use a little extra flavor. While large-scale production of ketchup helps meet global demand, it also comes with environmental challenges. One of the biggest concerns is the amount of water required for growing tomatoes. Tomato farming can be water-intensive, especially in regions where water is scarce. Many companies are taking steps to reduce water usage by implementing more sustainable farming practices, such as using drip irrigation, which ensures that water is delivered directly to the roots of the plants. In addition to water usage, the transportation process adds to the carbon footprint. Trucks travel long distances from the farms to the factories, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. To address this, some ketchup manufacturers are working on more eco-friendly packaging and are focusing on reducing energy consumption at their factories. Waste management is another area of concern. During the production process, a large amount of tomato waste is generated, including skins, seeds, and pulp. Many factories have found innovative ways to recycle these byproducts, turning them into compost or using them for animal feed. By reducing waste and improving efficiency, ketchup manufacturers are working towards greener, more sustainable practices. And there you have it, from fields full of ripe tomatoes to the bottle sitting on your table. Each drop of ketchup holds a journey of flavor, precision, and dedication. Next time you reach for that ketchup bottle, remember the incredible process behind every drop. If you enjoyed learning about the world of food processing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more inside looks into your favorite foods.